Welcome. It's your boy, Mr. G. And we are on the road to freedom. Next episode. And I thought I'd shoot a quick video. And I'm doing a night ride. And I wanted to do a night ride because I've never filmed a night ride. I don't know if that would show up. I don't know what this is going to look like. But, as usual, I got stuff to say. So let's get right into it, and hope that I have enough battery on my GoPro. I wanted to quickly bring up the touring market in the motorcycle world because 2018, it's gonna blow up. There's gonna be more choices than ever, and they're all ridiculously expensive. But there's some really amazing bikes out there. And I'm going to define touring real quick. I am really referring to full dresser and bagger touring. I'm not really referring to sport touring, although that might blow up too. So just touring as a whole might blow up because Kawasaki has threatened to release an H2 sport tourer. If that happens, I might actually look at sport touring. I typically don't like sport touring because you're leaning forward too much for my taste, particularly because it might be slight for some, but for me it's too much given my bad right wrist and the fact that I'm short. So if I were to sport tour, I would want something like a Triumph Trophy SE or BMW 1200 RT. It's just friggin' sweet. I wish I could demo one of them, where I'm really sit up and bag. But there's going to be some real competition in those markets. Harley Davidson, right, so they're putting out, and they're kind of the leader in that department. At least in our country, they're the leader by far. They're not kind of the leader; they are the leader. And they've got, two different versions of. They've got a touring Softail now. They've got the two different versions of the Road King. They got the Street Glide, the Road Glide, two different trikes, and then CVO models of this stuff. So a lot to choose from. All of those bikes are beautiful, different in enough that they are distinct from one another and insanely expensive. But the thing about the touring market is the bike sale world is shrinking rapidly, and so one of the methods that the motorcycle industry is trying to apply is, well, if I can't sell 6 $8,000 motorcycles this month, fine, but what if I could sell 2 $30,000 motorcycles? And so it's going to be a deal, and it's going to be a big deal. Who is jumping in on this? Who's trying to get a piece of the Harley Davidson Americana pie? Well, first of all, Indian. And basically all of their models above the Scout are touring models for you to mix and match how you'd like. So from the Chief, the Vintage, the Chieftain, the Dark, they have all the Dark Horse series, they have the Roadmaster, the Springfield, just a ton of stuff for you to go out there and try. Almost as expensive as Harley, but now they have real paint schemes, so maybe it's worth it to you. And some really, really, really cool bikes. So, what happens? 2014, Harley sees this and ups their game, does Project Rushmore. They got to say, that's cool that Indian's back and everything, but we are premium and they are basically a startup company, right? You know, and they've been continuing to up their game because of it. So now you got improved bikes. Now, it's always been the thing, like, if you really don't care about how the bike looks, and you just want to, you know, what's the feel from the cockpit, then you go get a Goldwing. Well, guess what, my friends? The next generation Goldwing is going to hit in November. And it looks to be insane. They're going to be doing, you know, DCT transmissions. So basically you don't need a clutch on several of their models. They basically have a completely new shock absorption system in the front end. All the technology is grouped together on a wheel, like you're driving a Cadillac or, you know, a highly expensive car. Tons of electronics, same engine but a slightly improved. The bikes weigh a lot less. So like the F6B, it's shorter, it's narrower, and almost 70 pounds lighter. So I mean, that bike is gonna be, so you're talking about now, like, it's in the 700-pound range. I hope it looks great, because it's gonna be insane to drive one. And then, you know, Yamaha jumps back in, releases the Venture, and you know, the bagger version of the Venture, and they are really unique. Look, like if you're driving one of those bikes, the Eluder or the Venture, it's distinctly its own bike. Nothing else looks like it, right? Which is kind of cool. Like, nothing else looks like a Goldwing, right? So if you're driving, for example, like an Indian Springfield, well, you know, it's very similar to a Road King. But if you're driving a Yamaha Star Venture, it's not very similar to anything else at all. You know, they've put some crazy technology. There's some technology in that bike that's literally first time ever. Like, it has a forward and reverse gear for pulling it, like, out of your garage and stuff. And just all kinds of mad technology. So I think that the market is really, really, really going to be booming. It's a shame that Victory was closed down, because I would love to have seen like a next-gen Victory Vision, because it was one of my dream bikes at one point. But there can be new dreams. So I'm wondering if you're you know, looking at tourers, full dressers or baggers, or even, you know, sport tours, you know, what are you looking at? Why that bike? Educate me, because right now my top 3 are probably to try and find a brand new Goldwing F6B or Goldwing at a lower price when the new one hits, because there'll be brand new ones that never sold that are just sitting there getting devalued, which is yummy and delicious for me. Or there's 2 different model Indian bikes that I like that I'm not 100% sold on, but I can't say that they weren't amazing to ride. And then there's just a kind of a whole slew of what ifs after that. You know, throw Harley in there, throw Triumph in there, but they're really far from what I'm looking for, unless I change directions completely, which I could. But I'm in that market. I'm wondering if you're in that market. If you're looking, what are you looking at? Let me know. Hit me up on the comment section. Like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on the road to freedom. This your boy, Mr. G, and I'm out. Peace.